The B-2 Spirit is a strategic bomber operated by the United States. It was designed to enter hostile airspace without being detected by radar. For decades, it represented the core of American long-range strike capability. Enter, strike, disappear, with almost no resistance. But that advantage is no longer uncontested. Russia has developed a new generation of air defense systems that changes the strategic calculation. This system is known as the S-500 Prometheus. It is not designed to deal with fighter aircraft alone, but to counter strategic-level threats that can determine the outcome of a conflict. In Russia's layered air defense structure, the S-500 sits at the highest tier. Systems like S-400, S-300, Buk, Tor, and Panzer each cover different engagement ranges. But the S-500 does not replace them. It acts as the strategic shield, the top layer that protects the nation's core infrastructure and command capabilities. It is designed to confront threats that can change the course of a war, such as stealth bombers, intercontinental ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, and even low-orbit space assets. If a strategic bomber manages to penetrate national airspace and destroy key command centers, a country's ability to respond can collapse in minutes. That is not a tactical loss. It is the breakdown of defensive structure. The B-2 operates under the assumption that it cannot be detected. That enemy radars are too limited to track it, but stealth does not mean invisibility. Stealth only reduces radar reflections. It makes tracking harder, not impossible. For Russia, this is not a minor threat. It is an existential one. Russia responds to stealth aircraft with layered detection networks. The S-500 does not rely on a single radar. Low-frequency radars detect the aircraft's physical shape. Long-range radars determine trajectory. The A-50 UAWACS aircraft provides continuous situational awareness. All incoming data is fused and processed in real time. This changes stealth from unseen to analyzed. Once movement patterns are identified, interception becomes possible. At this point, traditional American penetration tactics begin to lose stability. The S-500 can intercept targets at distances of 500 to 600 kilometers. This allows defensive engagement far outside critical national airspace. It can also operate at altitudes near the edge of space. This gives it the ability to counter ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, and stealth bombers flying at extreme altitudes. As a result, the B-2 can no longer rely on altitude as protection. If it flies lower, radar detection increases. If it remains high, it enters the S-500 interception zone. The doctrine of entering without being seen has begun to lose relevance. Here, the S-500 achieves its objective without firing a single missile. The United States must now recalculate operational risk. Strategic bomber missions are no longer guaranteed to be safe. Every step now requires a more complex evaluation process. When an adversary must reconsider before taking action, the defense has already succeeded. This is deterrence, winning without fighting. For decades, American air dominance was seen as nearly absolute, but the S-500 demonstrates that this dominance can be balanced. It does not mean the United States loses its strategic advantage, but that advantage is no longer absolute. Even with the development of the new B-21 Raider, the question is no longer how stealthy is the aircraft, but rather how deeply can the defense system read the airspace environment. In this aspect, Russia is moving consistently. The S-500 is not just another air defense system. It represents a shift in how high-level air conflict is understood, an indicator that strategic supremacy is not only defined by the ability to strike, but by the ability to prevent a strike from happening. The interpretation of this shift is up to us. Does this represent a fundamental change in global power balance, or is it another stage in the natural cycle of military development? Share your perspective in the comments. Let's discuss it rationally, without emotional bias, and with strategic awareness. All information in this analysis is based on publicly available sources, defense reports, and open research. This content is intended for education and discussion, not to promote conflict or political alignment. If this kind of analysis is valuable to you, feel free to comment or share your viewpoint. The goal is simple: to stay informed, critical, and aware as the world continues to evolve. This content is created solely for educational and informational purposes. It is intended to provide insights based on verified data, credible sources, and careful analysis. Our goal is to foster a deeper understanding of modern military technology and current events, not to promote or endorse any form of conflict, propaganda, or political agenda. We strictly oppose the spread of misinformation and hoaxes. Every piece of information presented has been carefully sourced from reliable, publicly available references. We encourage viewers to approach the topic with critical thinking and respect for all sides involved, maintaining a focus on knowledge sharing and open discussion.